What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I'm your host, Eric, and today we are going to read from our bylaws. Why? Because we are in an election season, and it's important to know the things that are coming up for you during the next few months, especially here at Local 26, where we have a chance to make a big impact in the direction of our local union. Again, it's important that you weigh out all the ideas and make your selection based on those ideas and what you want to see from your local union. Okay, I represent a 10-point plan and a set of ideas to be a fighting union. That's what I want to do. That's my definition of a fighting union, one that's representing the rank and file in every aspect, one that goes to bat for the rank and file and does what a union is supposed to do, and that is to fight on behalf of the rank and file. That's my aim. That's what I want to do. That's what my 10-point plan is aimed at. And so I think it's important that we discuss ideas. But before we discuss ideas, we need to understand the process, because there is an election going on. So let's dive in to the bylaws. Section 7A, page 4. Nominations for officers shall be held in May. All right, we got April and then May. So in 2 months, that's the meeting for the nomination of officers. The election of officers shall be held in June. Okay, so nominations in May, the elections in June. As stated in Article 16 of the IBEW Constitution, notice shall be mailed to all members at least 20 days prior to the meeting for nominations in election years. That means 20 days before the May meeting, you'll get a letter in the mail that'll discuss the elections that are happening and how the next meeting is going to be nominations, and it's going to be your reminder that there is an election happening. Okay. No member shall be a candidate for more than one office except as provided by these bylaws and with approval of the international president. If nominated for more than one office, the member shall immediately declare for which office they want to be a candidate. Every candidate shall have the right, once within 30 days prior to the mailing of the ballots, to inspect a list containing the names and last known addresses of all the members of the local union. Such list of members shall be maintained and kept by the local union. The membership list shall not be copied for the use of any candidate. All right. The local union, this is section letter D, section 7. The local union shall comply with all reasonable requests of any bona fide candidate for local union office to distribute his or her campaign literature to the membership at the candidate's expense. In handling all such requests, the local union shall comply with the IBEW Local Election Guide and with applicable Department of Labor regulations under the Labor Management Reporting and Disclosure Act of 1959. No member shall be eligible for office unless he or she has been a member of Local 26 in continuous good standing for at least 2 years immediately prior to the nomination. That's it. That's the requirement. So if you have an idea that you want to go and run for office, and you've been a member in good standing for the last 2 years and you got your dues paid up consistently, you're eligible to run for office, and I encourage you to do so. We need more people stepping up. We need more people stepping up to the plate and taking a leadership role. We need more ideas in the room. So if you're one of those folks that has big ideas, please run for office. Share your ideas. Let's see what we can do. No apprentice shall be eligible to hold office in the local union except that a member who was previously eligible to hold office and in the local union shall remain eligible if they enter an apprenticeship program for the purpose of upgrading their classification. Section 8. The election of officers shall be conducted by mail ballot. The executive board decides the date and the time, decides the date for the mailing of the ballots, the last day on which the ballots will be received, the date and time and place when the ballots will be counted, and similar information in the event of a runoff election, a runoff election is necessary. This information shall be included in the notice of nominations meeting and in the ballot package sent to the members. So the details of the election will be included in the nominations letter that comes to you and also in the ballot package that comes to you. The executive board may appoint an individual to perform certain tasks, including but not limited to procuring restricted post office boxes, mail permits, or an outside impartial balloting company prior to the nominations meeting. All disbursements related to these tasks shall be processed in accordance with the Constitution and these bylaws. Once the election judge is appointed, such individual shall inform the election Once the election judge is appointed, such individual shall inform the election judge of all advanced tasks performed and shall immediately turn over to the election judge all records, receipts, post office boxes, etc. for further processing. At the meeting of the local union in the month preceding the month in which nominations are made, so that's in April's meeting, the president shall appoint an election judge and as many tellers as are required, who shall serve as an election board to conduct the election. No candidate for any office shall be eligible to serve on this board. After nominations have been made and those nominated are found by the election judge to be qualified, the election judge shall have ballots prepared listing in alphabetical order the names of all candidates for each respective office, beginning with president and continuing in the order named in the IBEW Constitution. The ballots shall not contain any number or other marks identifying the voter. It's a secret ballot, guys. Don't be afraid to participate. I know that sometimes like people talk on the job and they're like, oh, you better be careful because if you vote, they know who you voted for and then they'll target you. This is stuff you hear on the job site from folks who just don't know. They don't know what they're talking about. It's a secret ballot. Mail in your ballot, participate in the process, pay your dues, make sure your mailing address is correct, and participate in the election. Don't let people scare you from participating in the election. The election is that important for dues-paying members to be a part of. If your local union retains an impartial outside balloting company to assist or conduct the mail ballot election, the election judge may, with the approval of the local union, authorize the outside balloting company to perform the tasks of printing, mailing, receiving, tabulating, or counting the ballots. Any candidates for office or any IBEW member designated by the candidate as an observer may be present at the preparation and mailing of ballot packages, the ballot pickup, and the counting of the ballots. The financial secretary shall furnish to the election judge not less than 10 days before the date of the mailing of the ballots an alphabetical list of the names and addresses of all members eligible to vote. All members in good standing and qualified shall be entitled to vote. If you're in good, you have to be in good standing to be able to vote. So pay your dues. Make sure your dues are up to date. Make sure your address is up to date. Make sure you're seeking out the information from the candidates and make sure you're participating in the election. If not already arranged, the election judge shall select a depository to which the envelopes containing the ballots shall be mailed. This shall not be the local union post office box or the local union headquarters. The election judge shall see that the address of such depository is placed on the pre-addressed envelopes. The election judge shall mail or cause to be mailed to all eligible voters an official ballot and 2 envelopes. One envelope shall be smaller than the other and shall have the words official ballot stamped or printed on it. The larger envelope shall be pre-addressed to the election board and shall contain a space in the upper left-hand corner where the member shall place his or her name and address. Upon receiving his or her ballot, the member shall mark same and enclose it in the smaller envelope marked official ballot. This envelope shall be placed in the larger pre-addressed envelope and mailed to the election board. Write-in votes are not permitted. No envelope received later than the time and date set by the executive board in the notice of the election shall be opened or counted by the board. The election judge may extend the time for the receipt of ballots in the event of an extraordinary event beyond the control of the local union. Prior to counting the ballots, the election board shall verify voter eligibility by comparing the return ballot envelopes to the voter eligibility list. A ballot challenged by either the election board, a candidate, or a candidate's observer shall be set aside before removing the official ballot envelopes from the return ballot envelopes. The election judge shall attempt to resolve the challenged ballots, recording all decisions in writing. Unresolved challenged ballots shall be set aside and not counted unless such ballots are deemed determinative of the outcome of the election. The election board shall count the ballots or have an outside impartial balloting company count the ballots in the presence of the election board. The election board shall remove or cause to be removed the smaller envelope marked official ballot. The official ballot envelopes shall then be mixed together to preserve the ballot secrecy. The ballots shall then be removed from the official ballot envelopes and tabulated. If the challenged ballots are not determinative, the election judge shall certify the results in writing to the executive board immediately after the ballots have been counted. If the challenged ballots are determinative, the election judge shall, as soon as possible but no later than 5 days from the counting of the ballots, investigate and rule upon the challenges. All challenged ballots determined to be eligible shall then be counted, and the election judge shall certify the results in writing to the executive board. So that tells you that when they're counted in June, that's when we know. And it'll be announced at that union meeting, unless something extraordinary happens and it's extremely tight and there's contested ballots. That's the only way that we won't know at that meeting what positions, who your new officers are. And so again, I implore you, talk about the election. Talk about the ideas. Talk about the candidates. Talk about what you guys want. And if you so choose and feel like you have something to offer or that you want to do, run for office. Get somebody to nominate you at May's meeting. Run for office. I encourage you. Let's have some fun. I mean, this is our future, and we determine it. All right? We are the rank and file. We determine the future. We don't get dictated to. We determine the future. So be a part of that determination. My name's Eric. You're watching Union Minded. Remember that the fight's not left and right. It's up and down. It's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one teach one. Get out there and reach one. And remember, there could be no union without you and I front and center. So let's go. Peace.